In this episode, we talk about an almost identical storm to the one that caused significant power outages Tuesday night. This storm will also bring heavy rains and gusty winds to the northeast, leading to even more problems. Alright, here's a look at the impacts from this storm, very similar to the last storm just at the beginning of this week. Heavy, consistent rain is expected for all of Northeast, as well as some flooding concerns, especially along the coast of New Jersey, up into Connecticut and Rhode Island. Along with the rain will be the wind once again, although not as strong. We could see gusts as high as 60 miles an hour along the coast and 50 miles an hour in interior locations. And thus we will be seeing power outages. I'm not sure how much of an extent, but of course we will continue to track this storm. Alright, we're looking at the NAM 3-kilometer model here. This is a high-resolution model that shows what exactly is going to happen in the next few hours. Now, I will say that the NAM is quite bullish in terms of snowfall rates, so just be careful when you're looking at this. Take it with a grain of salt. So we're starting this off tomorrow morning at around 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Notice we have a band of snow that's developing in Iowa, eastern portions of Nebraska, into northern portions of Illinois. And this is going to become the main band of snow throughout the entire period that this storm is basically alive. We also have a slight severe weather threat, especially in the deep south. Once again, although not quite as strong, these lines of thunderstorms will bring those damaging wind gusts as well as embedded tornadoes. The center of the low pressure system is basically there, and it's going to track to the northeast, bombing out as it does so. I mean, you can watch it here really explode into that comma shape here. This is around 11 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday. Snow enveloping the upper Midwest, as well as snow in Missouri and as far south as Arkansas. This could really be a problem for those there. I mean, you just dealt with severe weather, and then right after you have that snow. So just know that temperatures are going to be plummeting when the storm comes through. All right, let's keep on moving the model here, and you can see that by 10 o'clock p.m. tomorrow, we will be seeing that rain pushing into the east coast and the eastern seaboard with heavy rain pockets, especially along the Appalachian Mountain range. But we also could see rain encroaching on areas into the valleys, especially along here, where we could see flooding rains from the melting snowpack and the already really soaked grounds. Further back here, talking about the snow side, notice the snow is already enveloping the Great Lakes region, and it's pulling out of the upper Midwest late Friday night, but it's going to be causing a lot of chaos in the Great Lakes region, as we see in just a couple of frames here, which it does so quite quickly. This rain band, notice how it's a lot quicker than the last storm, only lasting a few hours. That's because the storm is moving a lot quicker and slightly stronger, which is blowing that cold air quite further and quicker to the east. That being said, there is still that potential for flooding rain, especially 5 in the morning. Saturday, we could see that flooding potential exist for southern New England. Snow continues for the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, albeit a lot weaker. And by the time we get into the nighttime hours of Saturday, we see that moisture wrap around and bring those lake effect snow showers back into the Great Lakes region. All right, let's take a look at rainfall totals or just precipitation totals. Don't really pay attention to anywhere up here. That is converted to snow. But notice in the Northeast, this is going to be our main concern for flooding, as they just had a pretty big storm come through. Another 1 to 2 inches of rain is expected. Localized areas could pick up 2.5 inches, especially just north of New York. And look at the amount of rain occurring across northeastern portions of Arkansas into Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, western Tennessee. I mean, there's going to be 2 big areas of flooding concern, and that's going to be the northeast, especially along the coast, as well as this band of rain. Alright, this is a look at the wind gust map, not the sustained wind, but the gust, and you can see that we have winds basically encroaching as that low pressure comes in. Notice these winds and wind direction is moving towards the storm at this point, but notice how quickly everything changes. I mean, along the mountainside here, we could see gusts up to 65 miles an hour, especially in eastern West Virginia. I mean, this wind is really going to be wicked. And in southern Indiana, we also could see that potential for really, really strong winds up into the Great Lakes and the Michigan, especially the UP of Michigan. I know you can't see it on here, but winds could be gusting over 55 miles an hour. This wind quickly begins to spread over the Northeast, and you'll notice that wind pick up quite dramatically Friday evening as the rain begins. And if I move this forward here and get rid of the pen marks, notice the low pressure system really ramps up. You can see the difference in wind direction, indicating the surface low is right about there at this time, pulling consistent 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts with it, especially on the south side. And we could see a scattered wind gusts of up to 40 miles an hour along the eastern seaboard. This all intensifies even more as I move this through. This is Saturday morning here, and you can see wind gusts could still be gusting over 45 miles an hour up in the Great Lakes and into the Delmarva region, up into southeast Pennsylvania. Along the Gulf of Maine, we could also see wind gusts approaching 45, 50, 55 miles an hour, and this will be really bad for power outages. We could see widespread power outages from this. Alright, we're switching gears here and talking about the temperature forecast. Notice the extremely cold temperatures. Anything below white, that is indicating sub-zero Fahrenheit temperatures here. And notice already the negative 28 appearing. This cold air is really going to drop down into the center of the country as we get later on into this weekend. And notice this is by Sunday morning. You can see the extremely cold air moving into Montana, Wyoming, up into the upper Midwest. It's already negative 20 degrees below zero, and this is the actual temperature. Just think about how cold it is with the wind chills, probably minus 40 in portions of the upper Midwest as well. This cold air will be sinking down into Texas as well. We could see sub-zero temperatures in Oklahoma and single-digit temperatures in Texas Sunday morning. As I move this forward, you'll see that these temperatures do move eastward. Places like Michigan into Indiana, Illinois will also start feeling the cold by Monday morning. We'll see this cold air continue to advance to the east, along with a possible snowstorm that is moving along with it. And this is just a sneak peek. I don't really want to get into the exact forecast, but a lot of the models are indicating a potential snowstorm for someone along the northeast coast. But right now, the details are just too far away for any exact details. Just letting you know it's there. Alright, that's all from me today. If you want to see more weather updates, stay tuned for more weather episodes from Season 3. Have a great day, and good night.